Just because of a persistent skin itch, I spent nearly 2 whole years unable to sleep. It felt like my golden years were being stolen from me forever. Do you know what it feels like to lie down at night and feel itchy all over, scratching non-stop without any relief, tossing and turning through the night without a wink of sleep? At the age of 70, I thought I would have to live with that discomfort for the rest of my life, and I assumed it was just a normal part of getting old. But no. There is nothing normal about being unable to sleep, unable to relax, and having to get up in the middle of the night just to sit there scratching until your skin bleeds. It drained my energy, wore down my health, crushed my spirit, and took away the simple joy of living. And this might be happening to so many other older folks out there. So if you are one of them, then this video is especially for you. I want to share my own journey, from someone who struggled for years with unbearable itching and sleepless nights, to the moment I finally discovered a truly effective solution. No strong medications, no spending thousands of dollars, just small, simple, science-backed changes that led to surprisingly powerful results. Before we begin, take a second to leave a positive affirmation in the comments below as a way to commit to inviting better things into your life. Something like, "I deserve to sleep well and feel healthy every single day," or whatever personal intention speaks to you. And do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on helpful content like this. Let us create a space full of positive energy where we can grow and thrive together. Now, let me take you deeper into why that constant itching was so terrifying. There is one thing that many people, even doctors, often overlook: the feeling of skin itching in older adults. Only those who have been through it truly understand. That kind of itch is anything but normal. It lingers, it wears you down, it keeps you from focusing, from resting, and worst of all, from sleeping. I used to ask myself, why am I so itchy? And everyone would say the same thing. Well, you are getting older. Dry skin and itching are just part of aging. But I kept wondering, what if something is really off with my body? Still, every time I went to the doctor, I was given the same creams and heard the same line: "It is just aging skin. There is no real cure." But here is the truth: itching in older age can actually come from far more complex causes than we might think. 1. Aging skin. In our 20s or 30s, our skin is like a brand new spring mattress, elastic, resilient, able to handle sun, wind, and even scratches that heal overnight. Just one good night's sleep and any signs of fatigue seem to vanish. The skin glows, looks smooth and firm, as if untouched by life's wear and tear. But once you reach your 60s and 70s, things begin to change, quietly but unmistakably. The skin no longer holds on to that toughness. It becomes paper thin, fragile, and vulnerable to the tiniest triggers we used to overlook. The natural oils on the skin almost disappear. The sebaceous glands, which keep our skin soft and smooth, start to slow down. The skin loses its ability to hold moisture, leading to dryness, flaking, and cracking, especially in areas that move often like the hands, elbows, neck, and back. This is not just a surface-level discomfort. It is the perfect breeding ground for persistent, spreading, and unrelenting itchiness. There were times when just one careless scratch would peel the skin off in tiny flakes, like dust. I would look down at my own hands in shock. When did this skin, once firm and healthy, become so delicate and sensitive? That feeling did not just bring physical pain, it also stirred a quiet fear. A fear that my body was deteriorating day by day without me even realizing it. 2. Underlying health conditions. At first glance, itchy skin might seem like a simple issue, just a reaction to dry weather, an allergy, or contact with something unfamiliar. But the truth is, itchiness is not always about the skin. Sometimes it is a silent alarm, a warning signal from deep inside the body. And unfortunately, older adults are the most vulnerable to these hidden health problems that affect the skin more than we think. One common cause is diabetes, High blood sugar over time damages small blood vessels and reduces circulation to the skin. The result? Constant dryness, cracking, and relentless itching, day and night. Then there are liver problems, often dismissed by seniors as nothing serious because they do not feel any obvious pain. But the liver is responsible for detoxifying the body. When it weakens, toxins start to build up in the bloodstream, triggering an itch that comes from the inside out. I went through that myself. It started as a mild itch on my back. Then it spread to my arms, belly, and neck. No rash, no redness. Just a strange, persistent itch that kept me up all night. I assumed it was dry skin and tried every cream and ointment I could find, but nothing helped. Finally, during a full-body checkup, the doctor looked at my liver enzyme levels and said, "Your body is sending a warning." It felt like a bucket of cold water had been dumped on me. I had never imagined my liver could be linked to an itch, but it is not just the liver. Kidney issues, thyroid disorders, and hormonal imbalances can all cause itching too. What is scary is that these conditions do not always show clear symptoms. 3. Medication. Side effects. At our age, we cannot live without medication. Pills for blood pressure, heart health, diabetes, joint pain, you name it. But sadly, many of these medications come with side effects, and itching is one of the most common, even though it rarely gets mentioned. Diuretics, statins for lowering cholesterol, antidepressants, and even certain antibiotics. They can all lead to dry, irritated, or itchy skin for no clear reason. I used to blame my soap, the weather, or even my diet. But it turned out the real culprit was the pill I had been taking every single morning for 3 straight years. Once my doctor changed the medication, the itch eased up noticeably. And that was a hard-earned lesson for me. 4. Stress and mental health. A lot of people do not believe that emotions can cause itching, but I do, because I have lived it. On nights when I felt anxious, lonely, or deeply sad, the itching got worse. There were no marks on my skin, but it felt like ants crawling or fire burning underneath. The itch had no clear starting point and no clear end. The doctor called it neuropathic itch, meaning it comes from the nervous system being overstimulated by stress, anxiety, or even mild mental strain. At that point, no cream could help. The only real cure was to calm my mind. I had to learn to relax, breathe deeply, and bring peace back into my soul. I started practicing meditation, gentle yoga, and letting go of negative thoughts. And just like that, the itch began to fade, slowly, silently, but effectively. 5. Living environment and daily habits. We often overlook it, but small details in our daily routines can make itchiness much worse. Taking hot showers strips away the skin's natural protective oils. Using strong antibacterial soaps dries the skin out. Skipping moisturizer allows cracks to form without us even noticing. Sleeping in air-conditioned or heated rooms all night pulls moisture out of the air, and out of our skin too. I used to live in a room so dry that every morning the skin on my hands would crack. I never realized that was the reason I kept itching, but once I made some changes, switching to warm, not hot showers, applying moisturizer every evening, and running a humidifier in the bedroom, everything began to calm down, gradually, gently, but clearly and consistently. Knowing the cause is just the first step, but getting out of that endless cycle of chronic itching, that was a real journey filled with challenges. I tried everything, from simple home remedies to modern medicine, hoping that one of them would bring me back the restful sleep I had lost. I started with topical creams. I tried one after another. Some felt cool at first, but after a few uses, they started to sting. Others were labeled for eczema, but only offered short-term relief. Every night, I had to apply something before bed. It became a ritual, even though I knew the effects would only last a few hours. It felt like putting a bandage on a deep wound, not fixing anything, just helping me endure a bit longer. Then, a friend recommended herbal baths. It sounded gentle, natural, so I gave it a shot. I boiled big pots of starfruit leaves, beetle leaves, green tea, and wild chrysanthemum. Every single day, as if I were brewing some kind of magic. After each bath, my skin felt a little calmer. But within days, the itch returned, sometimes even worse. Later, a doctor explained that elderly skin is very sensitive to essential oils in leaves, something I had never known before. I did not stop there. I moved on to oral antihistamines, loratadine, cetirizine, diphenhydramine. They helped me fall asleep, but it was a foggy kind of sleep. I never woke up feeling refreshed, and in the morning, the itching was back again, as if I had never taken anything. Sometimes I had to double the dose just to get through the night, and the moment I realized I was becoming dependent on those pills, I got scared. I spent months trying everything I could. I spent more money than I care to admit, switching from one method to another. Every new attempt gave me hope, and every failure crushed it again. There were nights I nearly cried in frustration, feeling trapped in an endless cycle. Itching, applying cream, temporary relief, itching again, taking pills, exhaustion, and more itching. What broke my heart the most was not the money I lost. It was losing faith in my own body. I started wondering, am I really going to live like this for the rest of my life? I thought I would have to live with that constant itch forever. Until one morning, while watching a health show for seniors, I heard a dermatologist say something that completely opened my eyes. Elderly skin does not just need treatment, it needs daily care, just like tending to a garden that has been dry and neglected for years. That one sentence left me speechless. All that time, I had only been trying to put out the fire every time the itching flared up, but I had forgotten the root of the problem: my aging skin, fragile, lacking nutrients, neglected, and most importantly, being damaged further by my own daily habits. That was when I started to dig deeper, not by blindly following advice from others, but by learning to understand elderly skin through science. And once I began making changes, little by little, results started to show. Gently, but clearly. Moisturizing the right way. Before, whenever my skin itched, I would just grab whatever cream I had lying around. Sometimes it was baby lotion, sometimes it was my granddaughter's leftover skin whitening cream, and once I even used medicated oil, thinking the cool sensation would stop the itching. But the result? My skin only got drier, peeling in patches, cracking, turning red, and on some nights, even bleeding from all the scratching. I could not understand. I'm using cream, so why am I still itchy? It was not until I came across an article by a dermatologist that I finally realized something important. Elderly skin is nothing like younger skin. As we age, our skin loses its natural lipids, those protective oils, and its ability to produce moisture drops significantly. This makes the skin thin, dehydrated, and more vulnerable to outside irritants. So, moisturizing is no longer just skincare, it becomes protection. I started researching and carefully choosing moisturizers designed for older skin, fragrance-free, alcohol-free, and without harsh ingredients. Creams that contain ceramides, glycerin, and hyaluronic acid are highly recommended by experts, as they help lock in moisture and naturally repair the skin's barrier. I also began applying the cream at the right time, immediately after bathing, while the skin was still slightly damp, because that is when the moisturizer can best seal in the moisture. The results did not come overnight, but after about a week, I noticed a clear change. My skin no longer felt rough or flaky, and the tight, dry sensation eased up a lot. The best part? The nighttime itching began to fade, slowly, steadily, and for the first time in months, I slept through the night without waking up to scratch like crazy. Changing my diet. I used to eat very simply, not paying much attention to nutrition. A bowl of rice, a bit of meat, a few slices of cucumber, and that was it. But skin at 70 is not like it was when I was young. It has lost its resistance. its ability to regenerate naturally, and every day it was crying out through the sensations of dryness and itchiness. After reading more and listening to doctors' advice, I started to make changes. Not sudden, drastic ones, just small, gentle, consistent shifts. I began adding foods to my meals that I had never considered before. Walnuts and chia seeds, rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which help reduce inflammation, restore natural moisture to the skin, and most importantly, support brain and heart health. Two areas that are especially vulnerable in older adults: salmon, mackerel, and sardines, 2 to 3 times a week in place of red meat. These fatty fish are not only easier to digest, but they are excellent sources of vitamin D and omega-3. Dark leafy greens like spinach, broccoli, and amaranth, packed with vitamins A, C, E, and antioxidants that help protect skin from free radical damage, keeping it bright and helping it recover faster. Each morning, I simply added a spoonful of flaxseed oil to some warm water and drank it. It is full of natural omega-3 in a form called alpha-linolenic acid, which the body can absorb easily, especially as we get older. I did not force myself to eat a lot or try to eat perfectly. I simply chose a few suitable items, spread them out throughout the day, and ate with a relaxed mindset. After about 3 to 4 weeks, I began to notice small but meaningful changes. Softer skin, less itching, less hair falling out in the shower, stronger nails, and most importantly, deeper, more restful sleep. Drinking enough water, avoiding hot showers, and switching to gentle soaps. Hot showers feel relaxing, especially on cold days or when the body is tired. But in reality, high temperatures strip away the skin's natural oils, causing it to lose moisture quickly, becoming dry and itchy. And for aging skin, repeated exposure to heat can dilate capillaries, leading to prolonged redness and discomfort after every shower. Also, strong antibacterial soaps or highly foaming body washes are some of the biggest enemies of elderly skin. These products often contain sulfates, artificial fragrances, and harsh cleansers, which not only wash away dirt, but also strip the skin of its much-needed oils that help it retain moisture and defend against irritation. So, after every shower, your skin might be clean, but it is also dry, tight, and more likely to itch the more you scratch. Besides taking care of the skin from the outside, water plays a crucial role from the inside. But many older people tend to drink very little water, partly because they do not feel thirsty, and partly because they fear having to use the restroom too often. However, when the body is dehydrated, the skin is the first to suffer. It loses elasticity, dries out, cracks, and becomes itchy. Studies show that even being short just 10 to 15% of your daily water needs can make your skin noticeably more sensitive and itchy. Small changes, but proven to work. Switching to warm, not hot showers, keeping them short at 5 to 10 minutes, gently patting dry with a soft towel, and applying moisturizer right afterward while the skin is still slightly damp to lock in moisture. Body wash is replaced with a non-foaming, unscented formula with balanced pH and calming ingredients like aloe vera, oatmeal, or panthenol. As for hydration, I started adjusting gradually, spreading out my water intake throughout the day, preferring warm water, and sometimes adding a slice of lemon or ginger to make it easier to drink. Yes, I had to use the restroom more at first, but within days, my body adjusted. My skin grew noticeably softer, the itching reduced, and I woke up feeling lighter and more refreshed every morning. And when these small changes became part of my daily routine, my body began to respond, gently but clearly. For the first time in months, I could lie still in bed, my body relaxed, and my mind drifted quietly into deep, dreamless sleep. I woke up the next morning not feeling groggy or worn out, but light, peaceful, and surprisingly refreshed. My skin changed too. No more rough patches that felt like sandpaper. Now, it feels soft, smooth, and pleasant to touch. The areas that used to itch all the time like my back, neck, and upper arms, finally calmed down. And most importantly, those tsunami waves of itching that used to hit me every night, gone. In their place was a calm, soothing stillness, like my body had finally found peace after such a long struggle. My mind felt clearer too. I used to be grumpy and sluggish all day from lack of sleep, but now I am more alert. I find joy in things again. I enjoy spending time with my grandchildren. Food tastes better, and even chores feel easier. It feels like life has finally returned to its natural rhythm. Growing old comes with changes and challenges, sure. But that does not mean we have to accept endless itching, sleepless nights, or lifeless, dry skin. The truth is, all it takes is a little more understanding of our body, a little more self-love, and consistent daily care. And things can get better, naturally and sustainably. You do not need expensive treatments. You do not have to depend on heavy medications. Just take care of your skin, listen to your body, adjust your lifestyle, and keep your mind calm. And your body will reward you with the most precious gift of all: health, comfort, and a peaceful night's sleep. If you are going through the same kind of relentless itching that I once did, please do not lose hope. Start today with even the smallest change, and you will see that growing old can still be a wonderful journey, full of ease and things to look forward to. Before we end this video, leave a positive comment below as a gift to yourself. Something like, "I am healing every day and I deserve it," or any other affirmation that empowers you. And do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so we can keep moving forward together, living joyfully, living healthily, and living meaningfully in our golden years. See you again in the next story, where every experience is a valuable lesson in this beautiful journey of aging well.